Welcome back to another episode of Live from the Plantation. I'm Spartacus 2.0, a.k.a. Jerry Metcalf, and with me, as usual, upstairs across the gallery on his own prison phone is Lucifer 777.
What's up, bro? You good?
Doing good. I can't really complain. I'm a little tired. I was up all night doing a suicide watch, but I'm ready to roll. I'm here.
Most
today
definitely.
we're gonna be rolling. We're gonna be rolling out on exploitation of prisoners' families and loved ones. What do you think about that?
I mean, shit. It's a heavy topic for sure, man. It's an ongoing thing. Everything that they implement in this bitch is for the exploitation of our family, raising the store prices, and store prices going down. Like, inflation is pretty, like, on the down, like, down scale out there. But our inflation in this bitch is like, you know what I'm saying, 100, 150, 200 times the markup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 700% over the markup price and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the whole thing. And one stick out to me though, Jerry, is when they go on a JPay website or they go on a JPay website and they see like this little promo about JP6s and stuff like that, the tablets and stuff, right? And they promote it as it's an educational thing. We can get schooling on it. We can get all type of shit on it and shit, like videos and stuff like that. But I ain't took a class on that bitch since I got it.
There ain't no fucking classes on it. You can buy music at outrageous prices, video games at outrageous prices, and you can get emails at outrageous prices. Hey, do you know every time I mention to somebody I have to pay to send an email, they're fucking shocked. You know, because people out in the world, sending emails are free. You know,
it's free.
Yeah, we pay a quarter.
You can listen to music for free.
Yeah.
You listen to music for free. We pay $2 for a song.
Yeah.
$2 for a song, bro.
And
it's crazy.
That's just the tip of this giant ass iceberg. Think about
most definitely.
So that's JPay and CoreLinks. Them two companies do that kind of shit. Then you have GTL, the phone company. You know, the phone company that has Miss Gina that's always telling us that we got 1 minute left. You know, they charge us per phone call, outrageous prices, and then they also handle our money. So let's say one of the listeners, wanted to send me some money. So you would go on the GTL website and you punch in my name or whatnot, and you go to send me, say, $50. Well, GTL is going to charge you $4 or whatever it is. What is it, $4, $5 or something to send me?
I think it's $5 or something.
Yeah, so so they charge you $5, you, my family or loved one or friend, to send me $50. And does it cost you $5 every time you move money, $50 from your bank account to pay your gas bill or your car? You know, that shit, and it's just insane, the amount of money take off of us. And if so let's say you put some money on your phone for me to call you. If I don't call you or we don't talk, like let's say I call and for some reason we don't get through for a month or 2 months or whatever it is, then they take that money. Just gone.
Right.
Put more money in.
For sure.
Another way that they get down.
For sure. One way that they get down, right? So they do this, right? They put this stuff in there so they can make all the money, right? And probably like they do it for like 6 months, 2 years, even like 15 years, just recently till they just lowered the phone prices, right? But this one thing specifically that I'm talking about is the phone prices and this fucking video visit thing, right? So in the mic here they got, you see what I'm saying? In the mic here they got in New York, right? They're not going to be paying for phone calls or video visits anymore. But in Michigan, we pay for these things to see our people. We pay $3.50 to see our people every time for 20 minutes. And then most of the times they don't come on. This bitch is faulty. They don't come on.
Yeah.
You missed the visit.
Yeah, it doesn't
you can't
work.
connect through. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're 300. Now your $3.50 is gone, right?
Right.
Now that shit adds
Right.
up, right? Because your family want to see you, so it adds up. You got to go through all these hoops and rings and shit to get the $3 back. I mean, it's $3, but it's my $3, right?
Hey, Seven. Rabbit was just walking by and he was listening, and he said, "Don't forget they charge us $300 for a little 12-inch TV."
For real.
You know how like people in the world, you can buy like a 40-inch TV for like $200. Here we pay $300 for a little 12-inch fucking TV, and I'm not kidding. That's what we pay for a little tiny ass piece of shit 12 or 13-inch flat screen TV. $300 motherfucking dollars.
$300, bro. And I'm kind of pissed off because we just got this 4K TV, and every time I look at this goddamn 4K TV, I go to my room.
Yeah.
My motherfucking eyes hurt and shit like that. I want 4K.
Yeah.
I want motherfucking $300. This bitch cost $300. This is my ass 4K, my ass TV, man.
Yeah, and what Seven's referring to is our day room that's right outside our cell. They just put a big ass, giant ass fucking TV in there. So we look at that big giant ass fucking whatever 40-inch TV. Now that might not be giant to you guys, but to us that's some humongous ass shit. So we watch that
looking
TV,
at a 13-inch.
Crystal clear. Right. It's crystal clear that we got to go into our TV and like when I'm watching CNBC or I'm trying to look at the stock ticker, I'm squinting and shit at this little 12-inch TV. Or ESPN when you're trying to read the bottom line.
Bro, I just be like, man, I'm done with it. I just go in the day room and say, fuck it.
Now, let's see, what else do they get our family and friends for? We already mentioned this. Secure Pack. So if our families want to send us some money, they charge them inflated ass prices, and they charge them a fucking fee to send it. I think it's like it's not a lot, but it's still a fee.
No, it's not like I think it's like $5. Like $5, close to that $5 range. Yeah, close to that $5 range.
Yeah, so there's always a fee just for us being convicts. There's some type of fee for everything we fucking do.
Our apparel, shoes.
Oh yeah, shoes. Yep, shoes.
Shoes, clothes, and stuff like that.
State shoes, you have to buy a pair of shoes because the state shoes hurt your feet so bad that you won't be able to walk around after a few. You wear them for a few years, you'll be a cripple. Oh yeah. And they're making us buy toilet paper now. They give us 3 rolls of this shittiest kind of toilet paper you can ever see. They give us, what is it?
One ply toilet paper.
One ply toilet paper. Yeah. And for 2 weeks' time, we get 4 rolls of this stuff. So of course that runs out really quick, and then we're forced to buy our own toilet paper at X. They only sell to us by the roll. You can't even buy like a 6-pack or a 4-pack. So a fucking roll of toilet paper is like $2 or some shit. One roll. Soap, toothpaste, they make us buy all that shit, and it's all at elevated prices. That's wonderful Keefe. They've been sued by the attorney generals of almost every state they've ever functioned in. Well, except ours, but every other state, they get sued for price gouging and ripping people off and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, Union Supply,
that's another company. They sell shoes and clothes and shit. J.L. Marcus, they sell shoes and clothes, right?
Yeah, Access catalog.
Access, yep. Walking Horse, they sell shit. They're really big in the southern states. Walker out west.
Yeah, California. I ain't know we can't forget
funerals.
Yeah, and we can't.
Funerals.
Who?
If you want to go to a funeral, you have to pay. They charge.
Oh yeah, you do.
My grandma died. I had to pay 2 guards' salary for the day. I had to rent a car to use their car, and then that shit costs a lot. That shit adds up.
Yeah,
They get us and our families for everything you can possibly think of.
Definitely.
Horrible
Most definitely, bro. Yeah, they racketeering right now. Yeah. We got to hit back in a minute.
Okay, what are we missing? I know there's tons of shit that we're missing here that we're not thinking about. Whoever that our families and loved ones are being exploited due to our circumstances. Think of what we're missing.
Definitely.
Visits? Do they charge under the new
Visits.
system? Do they charge you? You know how they use GTL sets up the visits. Do they charge for that?
Not they don't charge for that. They charge obviously to put money in your account, but we can backtrack and start from like the whole like mailing system and stuff like that. How they just like was like, fuck it, we're gonna make it hard for y'all to send mail and make it hard for the people that's getting mail to like want mail. You know what I'm saying? Snail mail.
Oh no. Right. Yeah. There was a great article. I can't remember who wrote it. There was a great article how they made it so complicated and they changed the rules so much. Like we can't get pictures through the mail, and they make all the different rules. You can't use you can't write a letter in it can only be in black ink or blue ink. It can't be in like colored ink, and they put all these rules in place about the mail to force people to use GTL. JPay.
You know.
And then yeah, you're right. So a picture, and they charge 25 cents to send one picture through. So before, when let's say like my mom could take me a bunch of pictures and she could just mail me a stack of pictures, now she has to send those pictures through JPay and pay 25 cents per picture. That shit adds up. That's a good one.
Most definitely.
I thought of that.
Yeah, and they have these like they. Yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
Right. We put this too, right? They put these things like these companies had like these like collage, like kind of like photo books and stuff like that they made specifically for prisoners that's having a hard time receiving a bunch of pictures, where you could just put it in the book formula. You know what I'm saying? And they just send it to you in a book, right? Not just loose pictures or anything like that. It comes like that.
You mean like
right?
Amazon,
it comes from a company.
Yeah, they don't allow those in.
Right. They don't allow those in because they thought that drugs was bringing it in. This is how they're getting drugs, but when it's coming straight from the company.
Yeah. And that was another way. That was, you could bet JPay lobbied for that, because we can't send a collage. Like if we put two pictures together, like let's say that on your phone you meshed you had two pictures side by side, and you want to send them as one image, they reject that and call it a collage because they want you to pay 25 cents per image. Another way that they manipulate the system to exploit people who are already poor for more money. That extra quarter, those quarters add up over time. Good one. And there's so much.
Exactly.
If we just sit here and think about it, there's so much shit that they milk our families for. And stop. And the visits, don't forget the prices of all that. Like the food, like if mom wants to come see you, or somebody wants to come up here and see you, or if one of our listeners, let's say one of you came up to see me or Seven, they allow you to buy a vending card, to cash on a vending card, and then you come in and you want to buy a sandwich, like a hamburger. It's like $8. Charge you like $8 for a fucking bologna sandwich or Italian sub or whatever the hell those elevated vending food prices. It's crazy. It's like another way up.
It's so many ways.
Most prisons are built in the country, right? But they house usually people from the cities. So your families have to drive or pay a bus fee. Like they got some charter people put the buses together. They have to pay to come out to see you, right? And then if they want to stay the night, all the hotels around here, any hotels or motels, have elevated prices around a prison, because they know that your family's caught between a rock and a hard place. They want to see their son or their daughter, so they're willing to pay these elevated prices.
Most definitely. Yeah, that's a perfect example for real. Because that happens more often than not with me. I'm like, damn. So like, I try to do the comps when they stay at the Red Roof Hotel, the Red Roof Inn, and I do the comps compared, and it's so much. Like it's like $150 to $200 to stay there overnight. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, they know what they're doing, and they know that mostly that's abusing basically minorities. Let's face it. I mean, the truth is the truth. Prisons are 80-some% black, and those people come mostly. Most of the black prisoners come from the inner city. So when their families come out to the country, into these places where they build these prisons in mostly all white rural areas across America, those places, they're taxing them people to come. You know, and they look like they don't want those aren't our kind. We don't like those kinds of people here or whatever. You know what I mean? They're going to come. We're going to charge. We're going to make them pay.
That happens more often up north in the northern prisons. But the northern prisons, like across, like in the UP and stuff like that, or just bordering the bridge before you get across, that happens more often than down here where we at in the thumb, where it's closer to the city, but still in like off, you know what I'm saying, off the beat path.
Yeah, just think of prison up there. I mean, how many people? I bet you we could probably count the number of black people that live in a UP on one hand, other than people in prison.
Yeah.
Not a lot of black people up there. When they come, they're being exploited. Like, Martha, the darkies are here again. Let's charge them. No?
Most definitely. This is crazy. It's crazy, bro. Especially with the private prisons, they had like an excuse to do that because they was getting all the money, you know?
Yeah, straight exploitation. Exploitation of poor people, minorities, you know, people from the inner cities, or even, you know, from the urban areas. It doesn't even have to be
definitely. That's what it is. Shit. They just stopped the fucking the 6% sales tax on our property when we go and buy a property and stuff. They just stopped that. We don't have to pay that anymore.
That's probably due to some lawsuit because you know they were charging us a tax and not taxation without representation. You know, who knows where all that fucking money went? That's just another thing. Everything they charge us is always a tax. This is always exploitation of our families because most of the money we spend comes from our families because the average person in here only makes $8 a month. So when he or she is spending money in a prison, they're spending their family or loved one's money. Because there's just not a lot of ways for people in prison to earn their own money. No matter how hard of workers they are, and you see it, there's guys in here, these guys that clean these bathrooms, they bust their ass all day, every day, cleaning up, you know, after 96 other people, and they get paid about $8 a month. So they go to the store when you see them going up there and pick up, you know, their soap and shampoo and deodorant and all the toilet paper and the things they need to survive. Their family paid those elevated prices, not them.
Yeah.
Hell, it's like these phone calls right now. These phone calls. The Red Zone's paying for these phone calls because if we had to pay every time we called to do one of these, we couldn't afford this shit. And which we are very grateful for. Red Zone and Portia, they treat us really, 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 really well. Help us, you know, to word out and spreading the message. All
for sure.
Form of exploitation of the least represented people in our communities, in our country. You know how they always talk about people who are underrepresented. Convicts and their families are the most underrepresented people in our country. And I get it. We broke the law. We did something wrong. I understand. I understand why there's animosity towards us. But our families have done nothing. Like my mother or my brothers or my father or my stepmom. They've done nothing wrong, but they've been paying now for 29 years right along with me. They pay out of their hard-earned money. No?
Definitely. Yeah, that's the thing, though, right? Because the family is attached to the problem that, you know what I'm saying, in society's eyes, we are the problem. The family is attached to that problem, right? So in order for me to break down the culture, right, we have to break down everybody that's involved, you know? So if you doing the time, the people are going to suffer too because it's inevitable that they attach to the person that they've lost, you know? through whatever means. You know?
Yeah, and just think, your family and loved ones, they get sick of shelling out this money, and that ultimately in the long run will drive a wedge between the convict and his family, or his or her family.
Right.
And as a community, as a people, we want our incarcerated individuals to be rehabilitated. We want them to feel loved and have welcome, open arms when they come back to their family. But when we as a people intentionally do things to try to drive wedges between them, we are working more towards creating monsters than we are creating good, honest, hard-working men and women. Stick a man in prison and drive a wedge between him and his family. Let him sit in there and rot away for 20 fucking years by himself and fester. That's not a very good individual. Anyways, we're out of time here live from the plantation. So what do we do, Sam? What do we do here?
Break the chains, buddy.
Break the motherfucking chains. Today we just happen to be breaking them on the exploitation of prisoners' families and loved ones. Take us on out.
Hey, then. Thanks again, family and friends, for tuning in. This is XV3 The Red Zone, live from the plantation with Lucifer 777 and Spartacus 2.0. Come again, man. We love y'all. Keep tuning in.